Hello, everyone. Welcome to Battle Rankings Live. Wait till some people jump on here as we play, well, depending on the time period. But for this period, God Save the King. Yes. Anyway, we're back from our hiatus. Just going to wait for a couple more people to show up. Also, this is broadcasting from our YouTube, and so you can watch from there. Also on Facebook. So that's pretty cool. So we're broadcasting simultaneously to both, and it's kind of flicking out a little. Anyway, well, hopefully more people will join on here. But anyway, so we're going to begin. So we're going to do. Anyway, so what we're going to do is we're going to review formations out of the D-Day British book, and we sent out a survey. And in that survey, we asked for your opinion. We got 48 people actually completed the survey, which is pretty cool. Since I only sent it out like Sunday, so being Tuesday, so yeah, that was pretty good. And everyone was more than happy to leave a note. So I got a lot of opinions about some stuff. So and all of it was anonymous, except that one person did sign it. So thank you, Austin. He was the only one to say, "Hey, I'm Austin," and that's pretty cool. So anyway, so we're back for season 2 of Battle Rankings Live. Our contract was renewed, so that was so we had some negotiations there, some stuff. I am joined by my lovely wife and producer, Ann. Say hi, Ann.
Hi, Ann.
And now the thing is that the trick was Ann was holding out. She wanted a larger dressing room and M&Ms, but no pink, no green M&Ms. I think was what the contract said. But success goes to goes to people's heads. The one of the things here. Anyway, I'm just kidding.
Heath bars.
Yeah, Heath bars. Right? Was it a concrete mixture with Heath bars?
Mm-hmm.
Anyway. So we've been off for a little while. We counted up. This is our 16th show.
15th.
This will be number 15. 1-5. So we did 14, and we hit the living heck out of Team Yankee there at the end. And now we're going to be doing Late War, since that's the stuff that's coming out. The concept here is that we're going to review now that the list has been out there. I review. This is kind of like a post view. Hey, you got a chance to play these things. How do these things do in tournaments? Because Battle Rankings Live, because Battle Rankings Live is about. Oh, that was interesting. Why did I do that? Is about. Let me drop that. Okay. Battle Rankings Live is about. Battle Rankings is about the tournament scene in North America. And so everything we do here is kind of supporting all that, even though we support the hobby and everything else with it. But one of the things we want to do is we wanted to take a look at, now that this book's been out there, how does it play? What do people think about the list? This is, so we're getting some of your feedback. You can get my feedback. I'm going to have a special guest as soon as they sign on here, and we're going to discuss. So we're going to split the British list here into 2 parts. We're going to do half of it this week, half next week, and then after that, we're going to do the German D-Day book, and now by split in 2. Then after that, we're going to do go back to the American D-Day book, and then go to the other D-Day book. So that'll clearly take us through October. So we're looking forward to that. And so yeah. Anyway, so I don't know what you guys been up to, but we've been busy with our time off and everything. And
Took a trip to Tennessee.
yeah, took a trip to Tennessee. Went skeet shooting. That was fun. Because you can do that kind of stuff out there. And yeah, it's pretty cool. You looking forward to our second season here?
Yes, I am. I'm curious to see what else you can say about Flames of War.
I don't know. Sometimes the stuff just comes right off the top of my head. I'm winging it most of the time. Anyway, but we're I have laid out here everything about Flames of about the British, and we'll talk about the D-Day British. Now, full disclosure, I've never played the British before until a couple weeks ago. The main thing is around the Team Yankee timing. Some of the British stuff was coming out, and I supported my local game store and bought some British. And sight unseen, I decided I was going to do a Desert Rats rifle, and I said, well, the rats, what the heck? And I have no clue what the ratings were and stuff like that. So I painted something. I put some infantry together. Actually got some French partisans, some Achilles.
We had a camera that was good enough that you could show some of the miniatures you painted.
Yeah, it's a goofy thing about when you bring a
miniature close
up, and you're not really painting for that close. It doesn't look right. The idea is you want to look at table distance, where you're at, and you're like, oh, that looks really good.
These miniatures are pretty.
Oh, thank you. Matter of fact, I just painted some Typhoons. Not that I was using them. So I will tell you, so I put the list together, and was it 3 weekends ago? Yeah, 3 weekends ago, I went to Ohio and played. It was the first time I played the British, and it's the first time I played in a long time, and I was a little rusty, and it showed. I actually should have won my last game, but it just, well, actually, I put myself in a position to win it, and I couldn't roll over on 5 dice over a 2. That's just the way that goes. But then I played 2 weekends ago here in Indianapolis, and that one went a lot better. I got the cobwebs out, and I was able to win that one. So that's pretty cool. I'll tell you what my list was. I got some the full thing of Desert Rats, the rifle platoon, two of them, the HQ, that's the minimum, the mortar, the 6-pounders, some Wasp and Universal carriers. And then, of course, by the way, I think the way things are going, the reason you get the list is because of support options. I got 3 Crocs, 4 M10s, and then I went with the Sherman Armored Troop. Now, I know some people are going to say, hey, why didn't you just take 8 M10s? Because I didn't paint 8 M10s.
Yeah, you took what you painted.
Yeah, I painted. Well, actually, in the first tournament, I took some the Desert Rat Cromwells, and they did okay. They're the ones that I couldn't roll the dice on, so they got to sit the bench, and so I quickly painted up some Shermans and Fireflies. by the way, from the last set, so the resin with all, if you guys, some of you remember, has all the stowage on them. Yeah, that was pretty cool. I painted that up. I've had that for a long time, and I got the Daimler Armor Car Troop, and of course I got the French commies to help me out. And I'll tell you what, those French commies are very, very useful. For 6 points, they're fearless. They can't hit crap, but at least they stick around. And yeah, it's like a 5 to hit in assault. Yeah, sometimes they hit, sometimes they don't. But they're stupid enough to stick around. And they did well. So I actually I took first place in that one. So it was pretty cool. The thing is, I'm waiting for Andrew Hobson to show up. I know he's ran into some traffic, but him and I played the last game, and he was playing British, and he was playing paratroopers. I was attacking in breakthrough, and I started with my Crocs on. He didn't. I went for that the objective that could put really close, and voila, turn 6, I was all over it. I had really great results between the mortars hitting and the flamethrowers, and I was able to blunt the Achilles ambush because recon wins games. My recon spread out and greatly reduced the amount of area or places that he could ambush, to the point that he ambushed actually my wasps that I was using as a screening first round. So that was pretty cool. But anyway, so now I'm playing some British, so I think I can speak somewhat intelligently about it now. Let's see here. Just want to make sure this is, when you do things live, okay, so he's not home yet. So anyway, I'm just gonna kind of stall. So let's talk about some stuff. And kind of one of the things I talk about was since all the stuff we're reviewing is D-Day, I was trying to find some, something to talk about, because I was basically doing some things. And I'm like, oh, what can I talk about that's kind of like British or French or something like that, and to begin this thing off. And the thing is that I'm just, my assumption is that my audience is pretty smart, and you guys know D-Day. So I don't know if there's anything I could tell you that you don't already know. Because there's so much written about it and done about it. I could talk about deceptions and Patton's fake army, who was doing what. They didn't wake up Hitler. Oh, by the way, I did find out one interesting thing I didn't know is that, the D-Day beaches, if you go and take the entire length, about 50 miles-ish, the contents of the beach is now 4% metal. It was not before D-Day. Yeah, so on June 5th, 1944, it was 100% sand. Now, in its current state, it's 96% sand. 4% of the content of the beach is some type of metal, either from shell, bullets, things blowing up, who knows what. And so that's pretty incredible that 4% of a 50-mile beach is metal. But kind of tells you there was a lot going on that beach. Which, and the thing is, I kind of dug this up with looking at, I was looking at this, Eisenhower, before everyone off, he sent flyers to everybody telling them, because I guess that's a little a little touch of Ike in the night, and he said soldiers, sailors, and airmen of the Allied
Expeditionary.
Force with an exclamation point. You are about to embark a great crusade. Well, there's a trigger word. Toward which we have strived for many months. I think it's been more months. I think you guys have been thinking about it for 4 years. The eyes of the world are upon you. You know what? They might be upon them, but he has not seen 24-hour news coverage. Yeah. Anyway, hopes and prayers of liberty-loving people everywhere march with you. In the company of our brave allies and brothers in arms on other fronts, you are about to you'll bring about the destruction of the German war machine. And by the way, it was a very efficient machine too. They kept those things running. The elimination of the Nazi tyranny over the oppressed peoples of Europe and secure for ourselves in a free world. Now, by the way, when he says free, doesn't mean like free lunch or anything like that. But anyways, just, not because there's no such thing as a free lunch. Your task will not be an easy one. Actually, I think anything worth doing is not easy. The enemy is well trained. Oh, yeah, that's true. Equipped and battle hardened. He will fight savagely.
Savagely.
Yes, thank you. But this is the year 1944. Much has happened since the Nazi triumphs of 40-41, Dunkirk. The United Nations has, which is interesting, you use the word United Nations. The United Nations have inflicted upon Germany great defeats in open battle, man-to-man. Our air offenses have seriously reduced their strength in the air and their capability to wage war on the ground. Boy, that's not an understatement. Our home front has given us the superiority in weapons and munitions of war. The place of our disposal great reserves of trained fighting men. The tide has turned. Free men of the world march together to victory. Exclamation point. Actually, he used a lot of exclamation points in this. As
I guess, initially I was going, wow, this is pretty well written. He writes pretty well. But, I guess it's a sign that he actually did write it if he used a lot of exclamation points, because you're supposed to use them very sparingly. But,
well, he's used in the title. And 1, 2, 3. Anyway, that one's 4. Yeah. I have full confidence in your devotion to duty and skill in battle. We will accept in nothing less than victory! Exclamation point. Good luck. Oh, there's another one. Good luck! Exclamation point. And let us beseech blessing of the mighty God upon great and noble undertaking. Signed, General Dwight D. Eisenhower. That's pretty cool. So that's what that's their, they handed these leaflets the night out before, and everyone got their little personal message from Eisenhower, and they embarked on this great expedition, which, if I'm not for reading this, but I know they kind of recycle it, but there's history in here about what happened on D-Day in these books, and you can read about it. Let's see where the heck I'll type in, where are you? Mom is worried. Oh, anyway. So, so what we did was, I'm going to explain this. So we did a survey, and we said, hey, this formation, how would you rank it? And we gave these explanations. Oh, actually, hold on, I'll do better yet. let's stop sharing and go to that. And yep, there we go. So it helps if I showed this.
Did you reply to you?
I he's at Amanda's house. What's he doing over there? Pie picking up Maggie. Okay. This would help. Okay. There we go. So what we did is I picked these were the categories that you could select for each formation. The first one was M for meta, which is basically this unit. It seems so good. They seem broken on how good they are. I'm going to read what I wrote. Then you can give it an A. It's a strong contender, a few weaknesses. B, good against certain opponents and situations. C, potentially a fun list, but we'll struggle. Or D, you'll struggle a lot. Now, let me bring it back here. So the thing is, with this, I wanted just to keep in front. The thing is, this is with a tournament point of view. Now, the thing is, these lists, they can be used for other types of battles or things that you do for your house that doesn't work fine for whatever you want to do. But we were talking about for tournament, if you took this as your primary formation or your only formation, how would it perform? And so that's what we did. And I sent it out there, and I got 48 responses. So let's take a look at how we're going to. Okay, so what I did is I got this little bucket, and as we do them, we'll move the formations into the proper bucket based off of what I'm ranking and what you as the public has put down for rank 2. Okay, so I'm going to start with the first one, which is the I don't know. Okay, right here at my fingertips. Not Rifle Company. Sorry. The Parachute Company. Parachute Company. So I was looking at it. What's kind of neat, they're hit on 4s, so that they're careful. They're fearless. They're trained, but where it counts, they're deadly in assault, so they hit on 3s. They have a Piat. They have an option for a Piat upgrade. Now, you know what a Piat is.
I have no clue.
A Piat's a little like a bazooka type little weapon.
Okay.
Except it weighed a lot, but it was like only like this big, and then it fired a tank and.
Boom.
So the British.
Boom tomorrow.
Yeah.
No boom today.
No boom today, boom tomorrow.
And do you know what that's a reference from? Let us know.
Yeah, type in the all 6 of you. Go ahead and type it in the comments. You know the reference of no boom today, boom tomorrow. Your prize would be you are a geek of age. So we took a look at the Parachute Company, and with the Parachute Company, the thing is that you get your infantry, you know, machine guns, you get your mortar options, and you also get these light 75s, though 75 millimeter. though I think 12 points for 4 of them is a little much. Especially the only direct fire is only 20. So I don't see too many people who do a parachute company with playing these. But you do get the 6-pounders and the 17-pounders as an option. I was looking at this. One of the things, the infantry is a little expensive, and you only get the 8 for 10 points, and most likely you're going to PA. So 9 guys for 11 points, no little mortar, and I rated this as a B. So let's go. Oh, how am I going to do this? I don't stop that. And I'm going to share. I like to share one thing at a time. Shoot. Bring that up. And so so here's the parachute company. I'm going to make it bigger for you guys. There you go. I picked B, and you guys, by the way, do you see lag on your side?
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah, okay. You as the public picked B also, pretty much by half, with some A's, C's, and D's, and no M's. By the way, you guys were very stingy on the M's, so I'm very proud of you. So you guys took this right at, you guys took it as, you guys were pretty serious about it, so that's pretty cool. So so these guys come out as I'm just going to move this out as a B, which, I think all things considered, because what's going to happen, and I saw this in some of your comments, was that the reason that you pretty much take a D-Day list is not the formation. You're taking it because of the formation support options, which is you can get 2 sets of Achilles, and you also can get there's lots of lag.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see what we can do about that. Maybe it is. Actually, we're having a problem with Netflix earlier in the week. Okay.
Maybe it's a router.
Maybe it's a router. Maybe it is a router. Hey, Rich, let me know if it's straightened out everything. I see it said I had to refresh the page. But anyway, I think what's happening is a lot of these things is, can I take, I guess the ultimate is, can I take 2 sets of Crocs, two sets of Crocs, and 2 sets of Achilles, and then what's left, right? The thing about the parachute company, because the infantry does cost so much, it actually takes away from the pieces that you can get from the support options. So anyway, that's why I think it's a B. I think the paratroopers would be, if you were doing a tank company or a Churchill company and you had enough points over for support for troops, this would be a good option to take one of these black boxes as your support. Okay. So now we're going to go on to the next. You can follow this at home. So the next thing we're going to do is the air landing. Just want to make sure. Yes, air landing. So go to air landing on page 18. The air landing itself, pretty much similar situation. I don't know too much difference between them, other than you get the mortar with the 1, and Yeah, actually, I don't. So look at this earlier. I don't see too much difference between the troops. Um, 3, 4, 3. So their base cost, uh, actually, you get one less guy and you get the mortar. I don't know if that's worth the trade. And you have the similar options, though you can get 2 sets of 6 pounders as your core formation. Once again, I'm going to chalk this up as a B. Let's see what you guys said. So I'm going to hide that. Hide and go to. Oh, I jumped to air landing. And you guys also went B, but some A and some C. Oh, hold on. Are you guys looking at that? Let me blow it up for you. Boom. So there you go. So you guys went, 39% B, 32% A, 19 C. It's interesting. I'm going to go that's definitely going to be a B because it's solid there in the B. It's a lot of people some A's. I guess they liked it for some reason. Some D's and C's. So I think that'll pull down its average. And once again, no M's. So I'm just going to go over here and shoot. And go ahead and I'll be showing this here shortly. So I'm gonna move that right into a B. And I'll publish the list. Well, I'll show you what the list looks like here shortly. So yeah, the thing with the air landing, it's pretty much the same as the parachute. Just instead of 7 guys with guns, you get 6 guys with guns and a mortar. Does that make a difference anywhere? I don't know. So anyway, next we're gonna go with the commandos. It's commandos. Oh, was Ray playing?
Yeah, I told him to get off the, choke it down a bit.
Oh, what was he doing?
I don't know what he was doing, but he had it up on I don't know, high level streaming something. So I said, "Hey, Ray, you're causing things to kind of screw up over here." He's
oh,
and he went, "Oh," and he adjusted something, and then suddenly now it's working better.
Oh, instead of 1024, he's bringing it down to 720.
Something like that.
Okay, well, all right. I think I need to up my bandwidth. All right, let's talk about the commandos. The commandos themselves, and they're in the same similar situation as the other two, but now you got 7 guys with guns, a Piat, and a mortar. So that's interesting. So the one is 6 guns, Piat. The other one's 5. Yeah, no, hold on, 7 and a Piat, 6 Piat mortar. Now you have 7 Piat mortar. Well, it's like different combinations of the 3. That's kind of interesting way of doing it. But but the one thing about the commandos they are skilled 2. Veteran. So 3+ in the skill, so they're a little bit better there. That's if you have to blitz or whatever you need to do with them. Fearless, which is still cool, and 2, the deadly and assault. Now they have a thing called mind and spirit, which frankly I don't remember what that is. If someone could just type that in. Now the thing is the commandos definitely. I'd say in a smaller battle, commandos might be the way to go. Like a 60 or 70 point list. But you have a bunch of commandos, Vickers machine gun and mortars. So not much going on there. So it's an interesting list. I'm once again I'm going to go with a B because once again the infantry is really expensive and it's keeping you away from the real reasons that you want to play some stuff. So let's take a look and shoot. See what you guys came up with. Commandos reveal. Oh, okay, there we go. So the commandos are pretty much B, C, some A, D. Ooh, now there's our first meta. So one person out there really loves their commandos. All right. We were pretty close to the air landing in that. But B, C, some A's, and that one guy out there that's going to probably talk your ear off at a bar about how good the commando list is. But yeah, anyway, I'm definitely thinking that's a B. And let me go and slam the commandos into the B section. Not that you could see it, but I'm kind of, I'll show you when I'm done here. Yeah, okay, commandos. Oh shoot, what was next?
We got some comments.
Oh, that was me going for. Oh, so John, Jonathan was on. I gotta show. That's the guy that's gonna talk your ear off. You know, he's gonna be. Yeah, you know
He's
what?
taking ownership.
You know what? The commandos, boom, they're the best. It's the best. No, don't even try to argue they're not. They're the best. More Guinness, please. Okay. Night attack with British. Yeah, actually, I was thinking about that. So one of the things I was thinking about with them in a certain situation is that if you were in a smaller point tournament, you could take the commandos, attack, go at night, and just run over your opponent. But I think at a larger game, you don't have enough assets to take on the other stuff that can ruin your day. Yeah, right. Yeah, I got Scott here. Showed Scott's comment. Assault on a 2, right? Backing them up with Crocs and Avery's. Actually, it's more like Crocs and Avery's first, and then the commandos clean up. But the problem with that is if you do the night attack, your Crocs and Avery's are in the back. So anyway, that's what are we doing next? We are going to do so yeah, I'll just go along with this. There's a card. We'll do the SS Paratroop Squadron. The SS Paratroop Squadron. I have that card around here somewhere. Where are you? Oh, there it is. So, yeah, bring it back. So the SS Squadron card, it says here, basically you get a parachute rifle company, one or two paratroopers, and then you get the FFI or the FTP platoons. So you get the democracy or the commie, I guess the capitalism or the communist French. The thing about the capitalist French is, well, they know they got a store to run, so they're a little bit more cautious. So there are 5s on the morale. So that's the big difference. Yeah, I just heard a ding. Let me see if I can. He'll be home in 20 minutes. Okay. All right. So he'll be home in 20 minutes. So anyway, so we look at this card. and you can have a 6-pounder and a mortar in your company. But the
Playing from ANN2.
oh, is that from you,
Nope.
or is that just Alexa just decided to chime in?
Alexa, echo, cancel.
Yeah, mind your own business, you Alexa.
Sure.
Yes. Their veteran close in fighting rating shows in the back of this card. Oh, look at that. Actually, they bump them up. Paratroopers become. But is there a price? Oh, yeah. It's 3 points per paratrooper. So, basically the paratroopers become commandos. So with some French civilians as backup. That's basically what this card does. So how I would rate this, I rate this as a C because you come with all that French baggage. And I don't think they brought baguettes. That was very rude.
Or crepes.
Or crepe. Crepes would be great. I haven't had a crepe in a long time. Now, there's a couple types of crepes, right? Which is the savory
and the sweet.
And the sweet, right? Yes. Anyway, so, yeah. But it comes with that. So let's see what you guys came up with as I roll over there. Oh, that's here. Let me hide that. Let me hide the air landing. And if I remember correctly, they're at the end. So, yes. Wow. You know what? By the way, I did not study what you guys wrote, but I feel that we're on the same wavelength. So, yeah, potential fun list, but we'll struggle. Oh, yeah. You can go, oh, yeah, it's good. Yeah. Get you hung. So you hung bastards out of our country. Oh. They're like, the food wasn't that good. Okay. Anyway, so yeah, so 41% said it was a potential fun list. B said it was good against certain situations. D and there's a couple said, well, this is a strong contender. And of course, no one very stingy on the meta, the way it should be. Yes, but I think we have our first C. So I'm going to go, boom, and I'm going to go over here, which you guys can't see. Whoop. And I'm glad I can drive my PC. And I'm going to drop the SAS Paratroop Squadron squarely in the middle of the C bucket. There you go. Okay. Next. Now we're going to get into, so we did 4 troops. Now we're going to get into some armor. And the next one is the Sherman DD Squadron. So let's look up the Sherman DD Squadron in our books. If you're following along from home, you too can go to page something in this thing. Where are you? Sherman Armor Squadron. Where's the DD? Sherman Armor.
Speaking of Sherman.
Yes, the cat. How's the cat doing?
Oh, he's all over me right now.
Oh, well, he's a lovely cat.
He's a lovely cat.
Yeah, he's a good cat. Page 34, if you're following from home. The Sherman DD Armor Squadron. Now, okay, so a personal gripe for me, this is one kind of a thing that kept me away from the British, is the fact that you have 3 tanks in a platoon. I don't like 3. I prefer 4. The reason is that you could have an unlucky turn. Boom. All of a sudden you have 1 dead, 1 bailed, and luck has it you don't get the bailed guy in, what happens? You roll, and all of a sudden the whole platoon's gone. That, especially when you're hitting on 4s and you're being careful. So if you're hiding or on the hill, all of a sudden they get some lucky shots in. They'll probably, looking for 5s or 6 long range, they might hit 2. Hitting all 3 is, maybe not. But, if they get the 2 and you have a big enough gun, all of a sudden, going with statistically, 1 will be dead, 1 will be bailed. And if you don't bring them back in, especially these things are remounting on 4s, unless you take a card. But then if you take a card,
you now.
it's just going to be a little higher. Hold on. Excuse me. Come here, cat. I'll show the cat. Here. There you go. Yeah, who's a pretty kitty? Yeah, you're a pretty kitty. Okay, anyway. All right. Yeah, it was a pretty kitty. Yeah, it was a pain in my butt anyway. Yeah, that's right. You are. Okay, so let's talk about the Sherman. So I don't like the fact they come in 3s. But the one neat thing about this list is you can get 3 Fireflies all by their lonesome. Now, this is the list. Why can't you get more Fireflies by their lonesome? Could you imagine that? If this was a list where I can get 2 platoons of 3 Fireflies, oh my, wow, that'd be awesome. But no such luck. Okay, so but with this, I think my personal thing is that also the only thing you can get is vehicles. So some tanks, Fireflies, the Recon, and the Cruiser. You might be thinking about the Recon. I don't know if you're going to do the Stewarts or not, because you might want to think about using those points for spread them out. Hey, maybe I can get for those 8 points I can get some Recon and something else, or a bunch of Recon, or some some other equipment. Or actually, for the 8 points, I get some Averys, right? The one thing about this list is, once again, you're looking for those 17-pounders out there. So you could take these lists for 12 points, get your tanks, and then probably have enough for some 17-pounder Achilles and some Churchills. No, sorry, Crocodiles, and have your list, and maybe one thing of infantry somewhere in there, and that'd be about your 100-point list, typical. So that ain't so bad. But once again, since they come in 3s, I don't know, that kind of sets it back for me. So I'm thinking this list is once again a B list. I think I could do something with it, and the cat's just gonna plop right on the book. So I got the book right here, and the cat just plop on it. It's pretty typical. That cat's gonna be solely disappointed here in a second. He's like, hey, cat, the show must go on. So let's take a look what you guys said. So I'm gonna jump over here and hide that, and scroll up here to the Sherman DD Armor Squadron.
It's yours, little squadron, Sherman.
Yeah, I must have heard its name. Wow, you guys liked it less than me. So potential fun list, but struggling. Over half the response said it's a C. Some B's, some A's, and some D's. Some people might just like Sherman's that get wet or something like that. I don't know. But you know what? I'm gonna go with the mob, and we're gonna put it as a C. What did I say was the C?
You said it was better than the C.
Nah, it's a C now. I'm not too wedded to it. Not that list. So I'm gonna come over here. Not that you guys can see it, and glad I can and and take the Sherman and plop that right over into the C section. C section. Okay.
A C-section.
Well, so we were trying to figure out what the hell was going on with Netflix. So we're like, oh, let's go to Prime and see if we can get something playing over there. And we ended up watching the first episode of I, Claudius. Now, my wife and I seen that some time ago, but our son has not. And he come to the conclusion that that's a really messed up family. So if any of you who have seen it, you know what I'm talking about. If you have not seen I, Claudius, highly recommended. It has basically everybody who's anybody is a British actor in the 1970s, early 80s.
It was early 80s.
Early 80s. And by the way, Patrick Stewart has hair.
Brian Blessed's in it with no beard.
Oh, Brian Blessed with no beard. Yes, he plays Augustus.
Yeah.
Yeah, not long for the world. Anyway, so there was that. So we got that as a C. So what is the next? It was a fly. If you're wondering, I'm just not jerking around like that. Okay, let's go. Now we're going to get to something a little bit more substantial. Let's talk about the breaching group. Hello, Kat. Yep, sorry. I know you're inconvenient. By the way, one of the cards I thought was interesting is the Avery Assault Bridge. They did something a little interesting. I don't know if you guys seen this, but they actually put the bridge on the card. So it's not only a card, but it's a playing piece. Interesting. I haven't seen that yet. But when I say I did say breaching group, right? Breaching group. The breaching group, what I believe is a card, right? Sorry, cat threw me off. Yep, breaching group's a card. All right. Yes, the breaching group's card. The neat thing about the breaching group. Here it is. We're on there. You found it. Oh.
Where was it?
You know, one of the things I'm struggling with is I couldn't find the cord for the second monitor so I can flip back and forth quicker. Anyway, someone had it. Where was it? Never mind. Anyway, so the breaching group. By the way, I will answer where the cord was in the next episode because I'm sure everyone's going to be on pins and needles. Where was that cord? He could have been moving faster. Anyway, breaching group. So the breaching group, it's a Sherman DD headquarters. So you can have the 3 tanks there. So that way you can at least save a couple of them. I'm swatting the stupid cat's long hair out of the way. You can have some more Sherman DDs, yay, but 2 to 4 Averys and 2 Crocs. Now, I'm going to tell you the thing about this list here. The support units that you're going to get anyway are now part of your core. And I think Rich is still on here. So when a couple weeks ago when I played in Ohio, Rich and I played. Rich had a breaching group, and I think I got a little bit lucky because I was the attacker, and he kind of had to start break through, and he started off a little piecemeal. I was able to get to that center objective. Once again, it's kind of a theme there, and I was able to pop the Avery. I got lucky with my Firefly, and was able. I actually got 2 hits and 2 penetrates, so that was a little luck. And the Croc. So basically, your core pieces that you're going to get for your support are in this list, and it has an infantry unit By the way, I'm a big fan. You always should have some infantry with your list. The only thing is, I put 100 point together with this. You tend not to have artillery, which I guess would be not so bad because you're in crocodiles and Averys. The thing about the Averys is that Rich Bear end up rolling on to my French commies and just drop a template down on them, and I think it was down 4 stands. So I went from like 8 or 9 stands to 4 in a turn. And I was like, holy mackerel! That's because when you're re-rolling saves, and because he ranged in the first attempt, which is pretty good because I think they range in on 4s. He had terrain 5, got on it, hit everybody. Well, with the French commies, they hit on 3s, hit a lot of guys, and then just and when you're re-rolling saves, just smoked them. The Avery is a good way to eliminate a lot of infantry real quick, or guns. Crocodile, similar, same way. So pretty cool. So the thing I like about this list is that I think this list played right. Not played right. I think anyone can play this list and be really competitive. Just don't do anything stupid, and you have a pretty good chance to win the game. I think with that list is the secret is attack, because you want to start with everything on the table. I'm going to give it an M. I think it's a meta piece. Let's see what keep picking the wrong thing. Okay. Whoops. Helps if I do the camera too, so you can see what I'm seeing. Otherwise, it just doesn't make any sense. And let's go hide the Shermans and find the breaching group and a bunch of B's, a bunch of A's, almost tied, and 6 people came up with the M. So, and some people came up with C's, and I don't know who are the 2 people with the D's. Anyway, well, it's a good thing it's anonymous. So there's a lot of mix in here. So, and by the way, I think this is one of the things that got the largest. We'll find out, but it's got 6 responses for M, and between the A's, I'm going to go. This is a really strong A or a very weak N, but I think the mob spoke. We'll give it an A. So I'm going to go to the screen, which you guys can't see. Now I'm going to take the breaching group and drop it in for our first A. Okay. So yeah, well, ain't so bad. Actually, what is next? Next is the following the 2 recon squadrons, the Reese squadrons. So the first Reese squadron is actually in the book. Let's go and find it so I can talk about it. Usually I just pop the thing on the, I just didn't have time to screen everything up. Anyway, don't want to hear my excuses. You suck, Joe. Yeah, I know.
How long has it been since Hobson texted you?
I don't know about that time. He's going to come in here right at the end. That's okay. Oh, what the hell's the Reese squadron? Oh. I'm gonna have to look at an index. Come on. Should have these things marked. Rats. Reese squadron. Oh, you know what? It's a card. Sorry. It's a card. Where are you? That's why I can't find it there. The Reese's Squadron. Anyway, Reese's, yes, like Reese's peanut butter, and Reese's Hegel Bobs. There's the Canadian. I don't know how you say it. How you say Reese? The Recon
Normal
units.
people say Recce.
Recce?
Recce?
Oh, Recce. No, but you know what? You make your first mistake is that you think I'm normal. First mistake. So the
Recce Squadron.
A Recce. Oh, I said the C's are hard. Reese, yeah, whatever. You say tomato, I say tomato.
Like see Recce.
Yeah. Yeah. You know why they call them Recce? Because they end up being Reckies.
They Recce your stuff.
No, I think they get Recce. Actually, where the hell is the list? Well, oh well. Anyway,
It's a card. Want me to look for it?
it's in there somewhere.
In here, how do you spell it?
I don't know. You spell it like a Reese peanut butter cup. Well, that's Breaching Group. So I know the. So the Reese, Recce, sorry, the Recce is a bunch of Sherman DDs.
It's not in this little stack.
No, I don't know where it's at. But anyway, we'll find it. So the hell no, like see Recce, yeah, it's a card, yeah. So people are telling me it's a card. The Recce itself, it's not.
Okay, you got a whole bunch of stuff out here.
I know I do, but you know the one thing I don't have is the Recce.
The one card you're looking for.
Oh well. Anyway, so I think it's similar to the Canadian, just that the Canadian has a special role, and it's Canadian Shermans with Scout. Well, that's the Canadian one. Well, about the Reller Recce. Oh, I see what you're saying. Canadian Shermans with the Scout card, right? So you pay 2 points, and everyone gets the gun to ground when moving. So they become all Scouts, which is pretty cool. That's for the Canadian. I think for the British one, I think I gave it a B. Let's see what you guys said. Oh, hold on. Helps a bigger screen. I'll get this down. Bigger screen, high breaching group, and there's the. Yep. So, and now, which is interesting, there's now 8 responses for the meta. So there's a B, C, M, A, D. Now, boy, you guys were all over the place on this one. I'm not too sure why. It might be that if you went and made them Polish Recce or something like that, so that they're get back in on 3s. The other one is a bunch of Daimlers and Dingoes. Oh, that's right. So Christian said the other one's a bunch of Diamonds and Dingoes. Okay, I got it now. Yes, I remember the list. So you got some Daimlers. The thing about that list is, okay, I see where people are going. I still gave it a B. The thing about that list, the thing about that list is you got the Daimlers and Wasp, not Wasp, but the carriers, and you could slap. I think you get 6 carriers, and for 5 points, you get 2 points for the platoon. Add the Piat rifles to each one. And all of a sudden you got like mini little, I don't know where it's at. Don't worry about it. You got mini little Shermans that run around. They can't take a hit. Only fire 8 inches. Thanks, Christian. I remember now. And you guys get, that one's okay. I think it's, once again, the smaller the points, the better that formation would be. And it has a legit mortar platoon, which can now allow people to take. It has a legit mortar platoon? Oh, hold on. So Christian says, hidden advantage of this formation has a legit mortar platoon, which then allows people to take the 4.2. So now you can have 2 mortars with it. But I'll be talking about that mortar platoon. So you can have. So this one you have a Daimler for your headquarters, 2 Daimler formations, and of course, what comes with those Daimlers? A dingo, which ate my baby.
Ah,
Oh, you know, I would say that one all the time. Oh, you saw my dingo that ate the baby. And then you can take up to, 6, carriers. That you could Bren carriers that you could throw Piats on and run around. Hey, I'm a Sherman. And that's it. I think on a smaller list it'd be okay, but on bigger lists, once again, you're going to have to include the Churchills and the everything else that you normally do with the list. You know what? Actually, my guest is here.
yay!
And Andrew, how are you? Well, I got turn my volume up. Yeah, go ahead.
Andrew hops on.
Well, let me. You know what? Actually, you haven't been paying attention to any of the show, have you? So you just got home. Okay. So I've already gone through the paratrooper, commando, air landing, the breaching group. We're just talking about the recce, which, by the way, don't pronounce it Reese. It's recce. Yeah, only a fool would say Reese.
Even though you've been saying it through most of the show.
And so that and something else in there. Oh, the Sherman DD list. So how about you want to give us we'll do a little recap on those and then move forward. How would you rank the say the paratrooper, which, by the way, was the list that you played?
I like.
Can you hear me? Oh, Andrew, we're having a little issue with the mic. Which is strange for a guy who does audio for a living. Hit some buttons. Did you try resetting the cable? Is it on? I'm just joking with him. Just playing around with some settings. Well, anyway, we'll go on. We'll move on with this while he's working on that. Well, I'll do. You know what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a review of what people thought about the book, and then we'll come back to Andrew. Give me a second, Andrew. We'll come back to you. Okay, there I am.
Make sure it's not a setting that you didn't do.
I don't think it's a setting I did because I could hear him
Yes.
barely. I don't have him on mute or anything silly like that. I've done that before. Anyway, let's take a look at what people thought of. Oh, I guess I should figure out those recon. BCM. Well, I think between the A's and M's and the B's, we're gonna plop this one right in the C, and so I'm gonna go over to the thing that you can't see, and go right into.
La, 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 la. Is that it?
Hey, I can hear you.
I am an audio professional.
Yeah, I know that. Well, let me pop back, get our audio to do video. There we go. All right.
Okay, we're talking about the parachute
Yes.
unit. Yeah,
Very true.
it's nice to have the fearless status on it, especially for assaults. Because the way my list was constructed, the crocodiles would clear out, would whittle the enemy down, and then the paras would go in and assault the enemy. Or they would stand there and take the artillery bombardment, like a good Britisher with a stiff upper lip, and not run away as the German mortars range in and continue to pound them to smithereens. So I like them. I don't know that I could justify the points necessarily, because there's a lot to be said for British infantry that, having that third platoon of infantry, especially if you're running, say, Desert Rats.
Yes.
Yeah. Because you had 3 platoons, right?
Yep.
Yeah, and I had 2 platoons. And
Yeah.
it was a choice.
Yes. Well, the public, I'll pop it up here. The public gave it a B.
Okay. I think that's a fair assessment. They're they're good, but they get kind of expensive if you try to have more than a few on the table.
So yeah, we plopped it in the B column. I think after that we went to the commandos.
More expensive. The one thing the commandos have is that they have vet skill, so you can actually dig in with them safely. One of the problems with the paras is that their skill is a 4-up, so you can't count on them digging in on an objective, or you may not want to defend with them because you can't count on them digging in. And the commandos you can. But of course, the commandos, the best thing about them is they can, I think they can do night attack, and they hit on 2s and assault, and they're fearless. So,
Well,
they bring the pain.
what number would you what ranking would you give them?
I would give them a B as well.
Well, it's funny, you are in the majority. Being we put them in the B. There was one person that gave him an M. We found out that it was Jonathan that he raised his hand and said
Claim responsibility.
he claimed responsibility. That's
Okay.
And-
Again, it's one of those things. If you put together the right support elements, they could be really nasty.
Well, I think I think that's what this whole book is about, and that was a lot of comments I was getting. This book is about the support elements,
Yes.
and then what do you wrap around them?
Right.
So I'm looking at the cards right now, but then the airborne.
Basically the same as the parachute, but I like the platoon of the parachutes better because you have an extra rifle team rather than the light mortar.
Right.
So
Yeah.
the big problem that
So,
I think commandos and parachute and airborne have is they don't have integral recon. Unlike all the other the Desert Rats infantry and your vanilla infantry company.
Right. And also I noticed that the paratroopers, 7 guys and a Piat, The air landing, sorry, 6 guys, Piat mortar.
Right.
The commandos, 7 guys, Piat mortar. So it's like playing the little things in there. Paratroopers and air landing are close statistically.
Yes.
And the commandos are just, well, they got that +2 in assault, and they come with an extra guy that can use for the +2 or absorb that hit as you go in.
Right.
Um,
The parachutes can take a second Piat too, which is nice.
Yeah, you can do the second Piat. You got Austin's chiming in here. Paras should defend only. Should not defend, only attack.
It depends on what they're going up against. I don't think that there's a hard and fast rule that they should only defend. When I played the tournament last week, I defended once. I defended twice and attacked once. And one time the defense went great, and one time the defense didn't go so great. And that was against British infantry. And there it was a case of the crocodiles and the artillery chewing them up.
Kristen had a question.
We got a question there. Did you guys notice that the light mortar don't have any direct fire smoke anymore?
I did notice that.
Well, since I never played any in version 3 or earlier, I thought that was odd.
Yeah, version 3 parachute, the Market Garden parachute company was probably one of my favorite lists. A lot of that was because you could get the parachute engineer platoon, and you had all the Piats in the HQ that you could attach at. So that was a nice little feature.
Well,
And you had frost.
Well, the question on the air land. Oh, what did you rank the air landing as?
B minus. Sorry.
B minus.
It's
okay.
basically the same as the parachute, except I like the platoon a little better. I like the parachute platoon a little better than the air landing. That's all. And he's absolutely right. Without smoke, the light mortar really isn't nearly as useful.
Oh, Scott here wrote, the best thing about commandos is that you can use regular infantry models. You don't have to paint.
Scott, I got the old version 3 lead commandos with the berets. They look quite sexy.
I think the overall general public that voted, is a B, some B's, some A's, some C's, some D's. So yeah, I said a B also, and that's kind of where it ended up at.
Right.
With that, then we went to the SAS Parachute Squadron.
I don't really have a good sense of that one yet, because I think the having the partisans in it really makes it a lot more interesting, because they don't count as being on the table for reserve. So potentially you could start with a lot of points on the table, or very few points in reserve. Let's put it that way. But other than that, I don't really have a solid sense yet. I have not played them yet. I will be getting a platoon of partisans very soon, but not necessarily wanting to run a whole company packed with them.
Well, hold on, I got to close that up. Bring this down. The SS Squadron. I gave it a C, and a lot of people did too. So it was, a lot C's and some B's. I think some of these lists will work better in a smaller point tournament, because you imagine, even if you got into a fair fight with this type of unit, everybody in their grandmother starts on, and they all wait a minute. But night attack only works if you have minefields, right?
Yes.
Oh, well, even if you had day attack, you still start with all that crap on the table, and it's just a matter of, you guys can't see my hand gesturing. It's just a matter of just attacking, you know, and then moving forward, taking that mass and moving forward onto the table. Actually, on the thing about the light mortar, Austin says the light mortars usually casualty. That's what I use mine for. Yeah, hey, mistaken target, light mortar.
Yep,
You
yep.
know, and
But
I
I'd
can
rather
hear
have the extra
guys,
rifle team.
yeah, and I can hear the two guys on the mortar stand going, what do we do to you? You know. So anyway,
That's where the Tarzans come in. They're also useful casualties. Use them to be a speed bump so you can organize your defense behind them.
well then after that we talked about the Sherman DD Armor Squadron.
Cheap Shermans. I'm not a big fan of British Shermans just because they do not have semi-indirect fire anymore, and they do not have stabilizers like the American ones. And I feel like Shermans are designed for a knife fight. You know, they're supposed to get in there and tangle with the opponent, and British Shermans just really can't do that, and they can't really lay back and lob shells in it with semi-indirect fire anymore. And the DD Squadron doesn't have the Fireflies.
Well, what would you give them as a letter grade?
Probably a C.
Well, a lot of people agreed with you. It's a C.
Man, nothing is not average.
Yeah, bouncy C. Yeah. Give me a C, a bouncy C. Anyway, so yeah, and some people with A's. There's some A's in there. Some people like it, but the B's,
You can put a lot of tanks on the field.
well, I think there's also a way to,
But I think the price difference between a Sherman platoon with a Firefly and a DD platoon is not enough to justify leaving the Firefly at home.
that's correct. But by the way, the DD platoon can have a squadron. Listen to me.
That's true. Yeah.
You can have a squadron of tanks you can have 3 Fireflies as an option.
I do not. Yes, that is true.
So,
I would take Achilles, but that's just me.
right. Yeah, I could see that.
Again, if you don't have semi-indirect fire, I'd rather save the points and have the Achilles.
Well, what score would you give them?
Yeah, C.
C, right? Okay, a bouncy C.
Bouncy C.
How can I forget? So that will lead us to right. This is kind of where you're entering into things. The Recce Squadron, since I've been chastised for my.
I think that one could be a lot of fun. You've got the ability to be really annoying to your opponent with all those armored cars. But I also think that you're not dropping a ton of points on your formation, and you can still have a fairly survivable formation, which means that then you have a lot of points left over for your support elements.
Right, which this book seems to be all about the support elements.
Yeah.
You know, and you're just wrapping it around. You know, you got the support, and you're just wrapping it around with some formation that you just don't want to break. We're on the pull up the. Let me see. Where are you? Oh, that's the Canadian receipt. Recce. Thank you. I know. What score would you give them? Oh, that's where we're at.
I think you have to be a good player to win with them, but I think you're going to have a lot of fun. I'm still going to say a B.
Well, yeah. There's some people said B's, C's. So I think it ended up as a B. So I'm going to take a look.
It's a weird situation if you're giving something a good grade because it doesn't cost too many points, so you can bring in other stuff.
Right. Yeah, so yeah, we put it as a B. Which then I think I skipped one there. The next item is
Oh, I noticed a couple of people said it breaks the meta. I'm curious about that.
It breaks the meta.
Or sorry, it's got the meta vote on there. See, it's third place. It's broken. How good
Yes,
that is.
actually, it does have some meta votes, but I think between the B and the amount of C's and the beta, the meta brings it up, beats out those C's to bring it to a B.
Yeah.
I don't think it's the meta. So Brian.
Hi, Brian.
The discussion is we're ranking the British D-Day list for tournament play, and the score, you can have M for meta, or give it an A. It's a really strong list. B, it's probably a fun list, and you might do okay with it. And C, it's and D is forget it. You're just gonna have a lousy time at a tournament. So that's what we're doing. Just to recap, let's go with all right. Let's talk about the breaching group. What's your opinion on the breaching group?
Yeah, I don't know that one well enough to feel like I can say too much about it. I'm afraid too much of what I remember about them is from version 3 with it. But it's you get the Averys and I'm trying to remember what else is in it.
Crocs.
Crocs. Yeah, I mean Crocs are awesome, but I don't think you need more that you can run them in formation.
Well,
in support. Excuse me.
Yeah, actually, here it is, the breaching group. Basically, you have it's a DD squadron. So you can have, 3 in your headquarters, up to 3 in your headquarters. You can have 1 or 2 DD troops, 2 to 4 Averys, and 0 to 2 Crocs.
Yeah, that's solid. I think the Averys are. I don't know what people's opinion are. I think they're a bit underrated. I think they can actually be incredibly powerful. The only issue I see is that the Crocs, and it's not that the Crocs are bad. I think the Crocs are great, but boy, are they a point sink.
Yeah, 21 for 3.
Yeah, but they will stay on the table. I think that's at least a B. I mean, there's definitely some good tools in there. I could see you taking Crocs, Averys, and then the HQ and maybe 1 DD platoon. Yeah.
So it's the second highest so far in the totals for meta.
Okay.
So the B's and the A's are pretty close, and there's some C's and D's and some M's. So this one was kind of like between A, B, and C split and a whole bunch of meta. I think it's an A.
I think
I put a list together, and by the way, you don't have any smoke, but why would you need it?
Oh, the Shermans don't have smoke?
They do have direct
The
fire.
Crocs
smoke.
also have smoke.
Yes, but yeah.
The problem with the Crocs and the Averys, though, is they are slow. So if the Crocs are coming out of reserve, it'll take, especially if you're playing, say, no retreat, it takes a little while for them to get into position to actually do anything useful.
Yeah, unless you're attacking.
Yeah.
I think
Oh, yeah,
that's
you're not going
the
to defend
list
with
you
the
wanna
breaching
attack with.
group. You're never going to defend with the breaching group. That would be a horrible idea.
Scott says here he runs the HQ with 2, 1 DD platoon, 3 Crocs, 4 Averys, and 8 Achilles and some Bofors. Ouch.
Yeah, that's solid. My only concern maybe would be getting the company broken, but Averys are still front armor 9, so they're going to be hard to pop.
Austin says he dashes Crocs to move faster. Move your Crocs. Oh, by the way, the thing about being broke, basically everything listed except the Bofors is all formation.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if you're going to break that. Between the
Achilles.
Crocs.
The Achilles are not formation.
Right, the Achilles
They're
are not.
support. So really, you've got a DD platoon, Croc platoon, and 2 Avery platoons HQ. So and the Averys are only 2 tank platoons. So, in theory, one bale in the Croc platoon the Avery platoon is gone. Yeah.
Andrew's right. The issue is the Churchills is an 8-inch movement. They can't move across the board fast enough, even playing long edge to long edge. Okay, so you guys gonna make me look.
Yeah, I mean the other. That's right. Way to go, Brian. Yeah, because the other problem with the Crocs is that their best weapon has got a 6-inch range. So you have to be on top of the enemy to sort of maximize. Otherwise, just get Churchills or Shermans.
Well, it has a cross country of 14. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, okay, so 18 with a successful follow me or a blitz.
Yeah.
But again, you're follow me and you're blitzing on a 4, so that's only going to work half the time.
Yeah. Well, that was a Churchill. Let me see if the Croc. I'm trying to find my Crocs.
I think the Averys are the same. The one thing the Averys have, though, is they range in. I think they range in as vets when they fire their
Oh, they
petard.
do. They do range in them vets.
Yeah, they are nice. They will clear out a building pretty fast.
Yeah. Yeah. I played Rich Bear, like 3 weekends ago, and he dropped an Avery on my French commies, and just decimated them. It's not fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
He laid down the hurt. Yeah, Crocodile 14. 14 across. So yeah, it's not bad. Anyway, so yeah, they're all the same. Let me throw this back here. So there's that. What else do we have left here to discuss?
Almost all the armor, except for the
Now the Canadian Recce Squadron.
Don't know that. I assume it's still similar to the British, but with slightly different skill and morale.
Well, actually, it's tanks. It's a card. Oh, here it is. So it's a card. It's a DD squadron with for the headquarters. 1 to 3 DD squadrons. 1 to 2 Stuarts. But the thing is that for 2 points, the entire formation gets this scout special role. Scouts, they can remain on the ground while moving.
Okay, that could be very useful. Yeah, because you can get into position for an assault and still be hit on 6s, and then you got a lot of smoke in there too.
Yeah, I thought this one was myself is a B.
I think it's going a lot of it's going to depend on the kind of table you're on.
Right.
Because if you're on a wide open table, who cares? I would still say it's probably about a B.
Well, you're in good company.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a B. C's, A's, D's, and no M's. I think the interesting thing about and you have to think about it. Do you want to make them Polish, Recce? I don't know.
Get those cool gray berets.
That's true.
Wonder if
yeah.
Chase Pippin is offended now that the Canadians aren't broken.
So this one ended up in the B also. Actually, let me clean this up, and I'll show this in a sec. Where we're at so far. So I don't want to make the broadcast too long. So this is where we're at. Let me stop sharing. Stop sharing that and share. Where are you? Yeah. So yeah, so this is where we're currently at. So far, we have 1A, the breaching group, and the Bs are the parachute, air landing, the Reese's, and the Recce commando troop, the Canadian Recce squadron, and our Cs are the SAS and the Sherman DD squadron. So this are terrifying. Well, okay, right. Hold on, I'm going to show some comments here. The last tournament, I was in the top 8 list where all infantries were the top, and the top tank placed 12. Of course.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that doesn't surprise me anymore.
Well, then of course Brian's like, well, who's playing them? That matters.
Yeah.
And of course, tank lists and the skilled hands are terrifying.
Oh yeah.
And these guys are bantering here. New guy and another guy, only tank list placed last. Oh, and
It's Tim running the Stewart list. Yeah.
yeah. And here, I was hoping to get a tournament to show off the tank list I'm playing, but I think I won't be able to get one before the Soviet book comes out, which is going to reset the meta big time. I don't know.
I think the British are going to chew up a lot of Bagration lists. I could see them having trouble with a swarm of T-34s, but I think the Soviets are still going to have some trouble with the heavier British stuff, and the Achilles are just going to eat through the Soviets.
Yeah, probably.
8 of those things.
Yeah, I know I'm going to be buying some more.
That's on my shopping list too. Have you talked about the Typhoon yet? Lost in the
more
Tower.
Achilles.
Yeah.
Why not? I mean, it's a 14 gun. It's a 5 front. I mean, a 5 or a 6.
Yeah, you're getting popped by a tiger. Who cares? Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Austin's saying here the Brits are ready for Soviets.
I would agree.
Yeah. He's like, yeah, I'm going to crush you.
Right.
Yeah, bring it. This is they have a big fault with that 4+ skill. That is true.
That is true. But you do have smoke as a Brit that you can then protect the Achilles from at least a goodly percent of the return fire.
Well, you angle it right.
Yeah.
Use it that
when
way.
you have that big chorus line of Soviet armor coming at you, you block off half with smoke, kill the other half, and then the next turn they move up. A lot of them are going to suffer from overworked or slow firing. They'll take out a few Achilles, and then you finish them off.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to just kind of talk about a couple things here, which is, so what we're going to do is we're just going to do half. I mean, we're already an hour and a half into this. This is we're already an hour and a half into it, and we're going to split it in half. So next week we're going to do the other half of the list and go through that and talk about them and get a final ranking. To kind of go back through it. What we got here is you got your breaching group, and kind of like a lot of people landing in the middle. I'm probably gonna have to make the B section a little bit bigger, and your C's are kind of ending up there. We have not anyone landed up in that meta yet, but we got more lists to go. So
Yeah, and I would say the British, for the most part, their real strength is their infantry. So that's where you're going to see, I think, a lot of A's, because I feel like just the vanilla British infantry is where the real power of the lists are.
Well, we'll see what people are. By the way, go if you haven't already, find the link. I'll probably attach it to this video. where you guys can still vote because I have not revealed anything yet about the other list. I had magically hide them from everyone, and then we'll talk about it. But yeah, I had 48 responses so far, which is not too bad since I just posted it out Sunday. So that's good, and we'll get some more. Then the goal is after that. So next week is wrapping up British Part 2. Then after that, I'm going to do one of the German books. I'll probably do the SS. Then that's going to take 2 weeks. And after that, I'm going to jump back to the American D-Day and then go forward to the other German D-Day book, or right, the not the SS. And by that time, people have had enough time to play with the Soviets that the Recce. Oh wow, look at this. It says the Recce Squadron should be an M. Oh wow! Look at that. You think those Bren carriers come out there and say, when I grow up, I'm going to be.
You spend about 4 points on your formation, and everything else goes into support.
Right. Well, once again, it's all about your formation as a wrapper for this support. Yeah. So I'm going to have 2 things Crocs, 2 things platoons of Achilles, some Averys in there, and then call it a day. And my little recon's probably just sitting back and hide. I could see that. I mean, that someone could put a list like that together.
Oh yeah, I think the motor platoons are like that too.
Yeah. Well, which we'll be going over again. So eventually we'll get to the Russian book. Now I know a lot of people rush out and try to get you everyone, the grandmother's trying to get you the latest on what's in a book. We're kind of doing the little things differently. What we want you guys to do is, we want you to play the list, and we'll get a chance to play the list ourselves. And I'm going to bring an SME in, for each nationality.
He's thinking of what are you thinking of? Dungeons and
I've done it in Dragons, yes.
That's right. That gnome book is something fierce, man.
Well, the thing is, if you think this ranking thing is some brainstorm I woke up in the middle of the night. I'm like, Ann, I got this brilliant idea. And she's like, go back to sleep. No, you got to listen to it. She's like, what? And I said, yeah, what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring these things out and rank them and put them in these tiers. And then everyone's going to say, oh, how awesome this one is and how much this one sucks. It'd be awesome. She goes, can I go to sleep now? And so I'm like, isn't it great? But no, it's not an original idea. I got it from some D&D guys. The D&D guys ranked theirs. By the way, they rank theirs a little bit more. You know how you have 1 through 4 for the first tier, 5 through 10, 11 through pretty high up. I don't know what 4th is. I never played a 4th game before. And anyway, so you play them. How each class and subclass performs in those, and it's this grid, and and the huge debates, this, that, and the other. And I said, "What? Can I make that simpler?" Oh, I did. So, they use S for their top rank. I use M because we like to use the word meta in this thing for some strange reason.
It's our meta.
Yeah. And by the way, I was thinking along these lines, and my son Ray said something. Hey, he goes, we should do this. And I said, yeah, I was thinking around those lines, and I'm like, yeah, I'm going to do that. Actually, someone's talking about spam. Austin's here. My goal is to play an event with 40 carriers with Piats and 50 cals. Yes. That's, what about the 50 cals are? The commander says, our 50 cal bullets we'll block out the sun. And the other guy goes, then we fight in the shade. That's how many 50 cows are out there. But,
Right. It's like when
anyway,
the Russian Sherman lists were like that.
but yeah, we're gonna yeah, they were like that. They were awesome.
For some. My Romanians didn't think so.
That was great. Yeah, as a German player, you don't roll a lot of dice. And in that one, I was like, these 10, this is version 3. 10 Shermans roll up, and I have 2 sets of 10 Shermans, and they all have 50 cows, and so 10 times 3 is, it's 30, 50 cows. And so I'm grabbing dice, and dice are falling out of my hands. Even my big mitts can't hold them enough. And I'm giggling like a little schoolgirl. And I go, oh, look at this. And I throw the dice, and the table bows back and forth from the weight of the dice. I'm cackling. Oh, yeah, it's good times. Anyway, so we're going to continue this next week.
Are you going to be able to make it, Andrew?
Yes, I forgot what day it was. I apologize. For some reason, I had it as Thursday in my calendar.
Oh, well,
Fix that.
yeah, I'll apologize too. For some reason, I meant to say I went to go send this on my new PC. I went to send an email, and for some reason, it's not allowing emails to go on that computer. For some reason, it won't send them.
Uh-oh.
And I'm like, oh, that's funny. It worked before. I don't know why it's not working now. So that you didn't get your reminder email. So a little bad part of my little bad on my part. But anyhow, well, anyway, it's all good. It's no one's lives matter on.
I want to find out who thinks some of those lists were meta breakers or game breakers. I'm kind of curious.
Well, we'll
post
take a look
on
at the
Facebook and we'll,
next week.
Finish this conversation online.
Yeah, everyone, stay tuned. We're going to be doing this now that we have a routine here at the Lewis household. We'll be doing Tuesday nights at 8 o'clock. We have the next few weeks already planned out by going over these lists and talking about them. We hope that you stay tuned and come back and watch this dumpster fire of a show and how we talk about things. And just have a good time talking about it. And but you know what? How can I forget? Did you guys learn anything? Honestly, did you learn anything? If
I
you
learned
did,
about the
type
breaching
it in the
release.
chat, and I'll put it up here for learning because you guys are actually part of the show. I have the thing where you can tag it up there, and also if it's not working on Facebook, I'm also I got it going on my YouTube channel. So these will be at both in case I get ousted from one.
Brian wants to be on for the Soviet book.
Oh, he does.
Brian Coaches says he wants to be on for the Soviet book.
Okay. I see that. All right. Well, don't mess with Texas. I'll put you.
The Soviet Union and Texas are just like that.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Oswald was from there, right? Anyway, so we'll remember, Brian, that one's going to be for a while so that we can get the chance of people to play. Like I was saying, the idea of this is that this is post release. Everyone got a chance to play. Let's rate them up based off of what we've been seeing out there, so that hopefully people can take a look at it, and then I'll publish the lists, that for each one as the time comes appropriately, that people can see, hey, I want to be a stud. What list do I want to do? And then this list might be work for you. I know one of the things this doesn't take a factor in is the points, because there's a big difference between, say, a 70-point list and a 120-point list, right? So there you go. Well, actually, we've got one here that says that the Romanians are coming. Hold fast. I don't know. We'll see.
The Romanians are coming. The Romanians are coming.
Yeah,
Yes. Yeah.
great movie. Yeah,
Never mind, the Russians are coming.
that's good
Yeah.
because mine are getting very dusty.
So what we're going to do is here we're going to sign off. When you want to go play us out,
Sure.
and to play us out, we have to be played out.
Playing from ANN 2.
Sure.
Oh, she's using the Echo as the speaker now.
Oh,
Come on.
She likes to give her 2 cents.
It doesn't want to play.
Of course not. Yeah, I remember I insulted her earlier.
Siri or Ann or Echo.
Echo. Well, which I call a little spy. It did chime in here at one point.
It did at one point. Now it doesn't want to do it. Hang on a second here.
Yeah.
I gotta-
Right. Hey, at the end, you could have like a big book playoff. You could like set up a playoff system.
Disconnected,
Now
reconnected.
disconnected from now connected to ANN 2.
Yeah, you gotta
Now
remember.
connected to ANN 2.
I think I gotta find the other speaker.
Yeah, speaking of Amazon, I might just go order you some speakers. Because we don't know where the little Bluetooth ones went. This is what happens when you fly without a net. But you know what? We're just brave that way.
It's the excitement of life.
He's over there going like this, going long.
We have no music. I'm sorry.
No, you want to, the how it goes.
Rule Britannia,
Oh, you could-
Britannia rule the waves. Britons never, never shall be slaves. How's that?
That's the other one.
There you go.
There you go.
All
There
right.
you go.
Good night, everyone. And we'll catch you soon.